Welcome back to the David Blaze Show, where we take childhood trauma and turn it into comedy, because laughter is the best medicine. I'm your host, David Blaze, a man with many talents, many strengths, few weaknesses, a lot of good looks, and still 0 women. Our first question today comes from Luca M on YouTube. Is the hood really that bad? Yes, actually, it's very fucking terrifying. See, the biggest problem with people in the hood is that they're born there and they live there. They don't understand or comprehend how bad it actually is. Because as humans, we get used to things. You know, gunshots every night and murders on the news every morning is normal when you live through it for 10 or more years. Now, you take someone who comes from a little bit of a better place and put them there, they can further stress to you how bad that actually is. When I think about it, the way a lot of TV shows and movies portray the hood is 100% accurate. You got murder, drugs, guns, robbery, lives being lost left and right. And then in the midst of all that, you got people trying to live their everyday life, going to school and going to work and just being alive. People just living all around that like none of it is going on. I remember 2 of my cousins coming home from a gathering. Like, yeah, we had to come back early. Mark died in the middle of the living room. All casually, like Mark didn't just die right in front of them in somebody's living room. I remember sitting on the front porch and these 2 people were fighting in the middle of the street. Somebody pulled out a knife. Another person pulled out a gun. Somebody called the police. Then 3 other people called the police. This happened at 3:30 in the afternoon. So at 8:30, when the police finally pulled up, I'm like, nah, we good, fam. We don't need help anymore. We all dead. Just imagine a place where there is no money, a lot of drugs, a lot of guns, and no rules. So basically all of America if you just take out the money. All right, y'all, our second question is our first anonymous question. Now this don't make no damn sense. How do my friend's mom and I tell my friend that we are in a relationship? He's 18, I'm 20, and she's 38. First of all, I can't tell if I'm more ashamed of you or more proud of you for this one. I know someone who had sex with one of their friends' mom, and I also know someone who had sex with their own cousin. That's a dark memory I didn't need back. But y'all are in a full-blown relationship. Like, literally, your friend is about to become your stepson. You, my friend, have took this to a whole nother level. But the way I would tell him is with words, because there ain't no other way to put that one. I mean, you could just go over his house one day, just walk in, kiss his mom like, hey, babe, I'm home. But then he'd probably have a fucking brain aneurysm. This is more of a sit-down intervention type style conversation. I mean, you already got with his mom behind his back. The least you can do is tell him the truth about it, not to his face. Because y'all in a relationship, that's your friend, and like you want to set a good example, and that's the fatherly thing to do. So unless you're about to stop participating in adult activities with his mother, yeah, you might as well go ahead and start playing your role now of being the stepdad that he don't like, because it's about to get ugly. Third question for today is from Ducky Boy on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, these names be all right. These names be all right. What is the dumbest situation you've ever been in? My last relationship. I talked about it more in episode 3, but yeah, that's the dumbest thing I have ever done in my entire life. What started off as something good turned into like lying, cheating, terrible communication, insecurity, accusations. I definitely would have been better masturbating every day for that entire time. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. That is truly the only regret I have in this wild ass, weird ass life I have lived so far. But here are some possible runner-ups. You got the time I was robbed at gunpoint for $2, which was weird because it was like 3 of them and it was only $2. The dude with the gun taking the majority of the money. There was a time I fell off the balcony. I think I was like 10 or 11 years old. Okay, so at the park, they have these poles that you can slide down after you climb up the jungle gym or whatever. And now that I'm thinking about it, these poles were just preparing kids to be strippers. They're being groomed. But at the park, they're metal and cylinder shaped and smooth. You can grab it and then put your arms on it, put your hands on it. Whoa, okay. That was a lot. No, literally. But they're safer to go down. And my sister had this balcony on the back of her house. And I was like, hey, This pole goes all the way to the ground. This is the same kind of logic. Somehow it didn't connect in my brain that this was wooden and square and splinters and not good sliding, and I'm about to bleed to death by all the scratches I'm gonna get. And that didn't click until after I was already mid-air. So of course I had to let it go. And yeah, let's just say I slept with an ice pack on my ass for a couple days after that. I've also been a black man in a white neighborhood. You know, that's very risky depending on where you are. There was a time I was chased around a mall parking lot by a meth addict with a fake police badge. I also was born into a family where I was given 2 addicts for parents. So yeah, lot of wild situations I've been put into. My last relationship is still worse than all of them. Then there was also the time I started selling crack on accident. I know that sounds crazy. Follow me. We were supposed to be selling weed, okay? But the person we sent to go buy the weed left for 6 hours for some reason and came back and was like, surprise, crack cocaine. That fast, we went from planning on having a misdemeanor amount of marijuana to a felony amount of crack. It all happened so fast, and to this day, nobody wants to tell me the true story of what happened. Moral of the story, my life is a circus that is open 24/7, just like Walmart. That's all the time we have for today's show. If you want your question, comment, or concern in the next episode, you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, youtube.com/David Blaze videos, the David Blaze Show at yahoo.com. You can remain anonymous, like if you piping out your friend's mom. You probably might want to remain anonymous for now. Want to give a special thank you to Dr. Pepper. They are not sponsoring today's episode. I just have a serious addiction I don't plan on getting help for. And always remember, no one really cares. Shut up. Good night, everybody. All right, that's enough of that.